Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. We got everybody here.
Hello.
Except for David.
Yes.
David Shumlin.
Alright. So how's everybody doing today?
I'm doing well.
Yep.
Yeah, good. We just got a new coffee machine, so that's nice.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I'm struggling to figure out how to work this stupid laptop thing, which is why I didn't have the sheet because it's on the other computer. But
Yeah, so you should have it now, so that'll work out pretty good then.
yeah, I put the Kiss and Powers on it and everything. I just took 2 merits, so
Okay.
there's the Inspiring and I can't remember what the other one was.
Did everybody see that the Kizen powers that they got?
Yeah, the new ones, yeah.
Yeah, and you should have, I think, 3 new Kizen points to add to your pool.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized that one of my previous powers was innate to begin with, so I can't make the other one innate just yet.
I think you can have a bunch of them innate, actually. There's a...
Oh, I know, but I needed to shove 20 into one of them to make it innate. And there was already one that was by default innate, so the buzzing will be coming in and out.
The 20 sounds really expensive. I wonder if I did that right.
Well, we'll see. Fine either way.
So to make something innate, you just have to spend the point cost?
Yeah, so like if it costs 6, then you always have spent 6. Like your pool is just 6 less, basically. Like
nice. All right.
the points are always reserved for that power, basically.
Okay.
So they're always on, but
It's going to be labeled innate, too.
yeah.
Because they're innate powers and active powers.
Yeah, innate and then active. Yeah, active ones you have to physically really choose to have happen. And everybody had 6 more experience, or I guess the first 6 experience. So,
wow, I got 19 innate powers. Okay, here we go. So that's.
But yeah, you don't have to have them all turned on, but that's an option if you can.
Yeah. What is the
probably
for Kizen Pool? Because I apparently didn't write it down. So
it's 20 when you first started, and then you got 3 from last session, and then you'll be getting 3 from this session.
Okay.
Does anybody have any thoughts or anything before we start?
No.
Questions?
No.
My chest cold is almost gone, so I'll be able to talk more.
That's always good.
Not that you want LV426 talking more.
Well, if it's an option of thinking more or of talking more, I guess.
I'm sure it'll all be moderated by the chip.
Yes, very much so.
Guess I just want to emphasize that don't be afraid to come up with stuff. Don't be afraid to push the story in different directions. I can usually think on the fly pretty quick, so don't worry about me. Don't be afraid of it, in other words.
Once we're off the ship on on a world doing something, we have more of that. As is, we have had a good amount of it, but we're just on a ship going to a place, so there's not all that much we can do except just sort of fun fun inter-story stuff.
You'd be surprised how much stuff can happen on a ship between destinations.
Well, lots of stuff can. I mean, the first plot seems to be like it is, but most of the first session was just us doing stuff, meeting, and whatever. Not really stuff happening until the very end. So.
All right. Well, last time we had left off, there was someone that had hitchhiked, and at least you think there's someone on the ship that you're trying to get to. They're locked in the crew barracks area. You have the doors locked. They are attempting to try to get one of the doors opened, and you guys were all trying to come up with what to do, what was going on. That's where we left off, basically. Some people were suggesting modifying the oxygen so that there's no oxygen going into the crew barracks to sort of starve them of oxygen. So I believe you guys are still talking on the outskirts of the crew barracks and the ship.
I think you said he was trying to break through the secondary door.
Yeah.
LV-426 was running. I just took off down there.
And to be clear on our positioning, we had just been in the med bay checking ourselves out, right? So we're on that side of the crew quarters, which means that it's trying to get into the lounge area.
Let's see here. Where's the med area? Yeah, the science lab is on the back of the ship, I believe. I should open these windows before. I usually open up all the maps for the ship just to have them ready. Yeah, I believe this
God,
is
Tim, jeez.
Yeah, you guys are in the back half of the ship, and the only trick is that you were talking about running around to get to the other side. I was looking at the maps. There is no other way around.
So we're
Right to the wall.
all right. Well, we can't get to it at this point, so I think we need to take the oxygen out because that's the only option we have. Unless we want to outright kill it by funneling the chemical stuff from the engines in, which will kill it apparently if it's reacting the same way we do. So I'm just screw it.
We can turn on the fire suppression systems, Captain.
Yes.
That would move the oxygen.
Okay, do both then. I don't care. Just stop it before it gets out because we don't have time.
Captain, you need command level access probably to turn that on. I do not have that.
Oh, yes. Han, do what he said.
I'm sorry, can you please restate the order?
Turn on fire suppression systems in crew quarters, take oxygen out of crew quarters.
As previously stated, manual change will need to be made to remove the oxygen from the crew quarters. He is apparently using a skeleton key to get around my locking mechanism.
Okay, is there anything else you can do to slow him down or kill him or whatever that doesn't require us to manually change stuff? Because we don't have time for that.
I suppose.
Now, could you do anything?
I'm sorry, Captain. I do not believe that I can.
Okay, well, call Grunt to this area, if possible. I don't know if you can do that.
Grunt was told to turn himself off, I believe. He needs a voice-activated command from one of you to turn
Way
on.
to control him from not right in front remotely or from not right in front of him. Could you pipe my voice to him so that he would be able to receive orders when I'm not there?
You could use the intercom system.
Oh, okay. That's easy. All right, I go to a nearest intercom and I dial up Grunt. Grunt, activate, come to the door of the crew quarters that it's trying to get out of, and guard without, do not use lethal force unless necessary. I guess that's probably too complicated for Grunt.
You hear some engine movement, some joints moving. You can tell that there's some noise on the other end of the intercom. It seems like it's pressed the button.
Okay.
V-state command.
Come to door of crew quarter. What is it? The east or whatever door of crew quarters.
Coming now.
All right. And if I can, I will bring up any sort of cameras, since I can't be there, that we have in that area. I don't know.
Okay, if you guys look on the monitor, you'll see that there is this sort of surreal, bendy blending of light by the other door that it's trying to get out. You actually don't see anyone there. It's just there's this strange effect that you see.
Pawn, analyze light anomaly in crew quarters area.
Effect not noted.
Okay.
Captain, the skeleton key has worked. The door has now opened, and apparently something or someone is now moving away.
Okay. Does Grunt have the capacity to incapacitate rather than kill things, or is he just for war?
The one that you call Grunt needs specific commands. Captain, should I not open the door to the barracks so that you can chase?
Yes, but does he have non-lethal weapons or only lethal ones?
He could use the lethal ones non-lethally.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was too complicated for him.
Door opening. You'll see the door open to the crew barracks, and across the way you'll see the next door that's also opened. You don't see the bending light effect anymore, though.
All right, I guess because we weren't locking the others so much.
So I take it as a doctor I should kind of lean back, but you guys feel free to give chase.
Yes, well, I don't think given the layout of the ship and whatnot and where it seems to be heading, is there any chance that we could even get in its way, or is it just too far away? Because I know we couldn't get to the other side of the crew quarters.
Well,
really.
now the door is opened. You have complete access to the crew quarters area, as well as the kitchen, the airlock / meditation chamber, the lounge, and there is a porthole that leads up to, or leads down to the cargo bay, at least one of the cargo bays.
All right. Well, I will go give chase to just running after it. I'm not sure I can even catch it, but I have to try, and call back to people. Those of you that are combat trained, do you have weapons with you, or do you need to go get them from the weapons locker?
I already put my my gun on me, so it was in the med bay.
All right. Well, I've been carrying my pistol with me the whole time, as I mentioned last time, so I at least have that. That should be good enough. I don't even know if these will work on it, but yeah, is all we have. So, and now we give chase to the thing if we can get it all.
Okay, so you move through the crew quarters. You see that there doesn't seem to be any apparent damage. There's nothing that seems to have been removed, as far as you can tell. And you move forward. The doorways to the left, to the kitchen, are open, as are the airlock door to the right, and the lounge is there, but you don't see anything.
All right, I will call out to the way on you will not be harmed if you are not a threat, but we wish to know what you are and why you are here. You can keep running away, and we'll keep chasing you like cats and mice, or you can just talk to us and diffuse the whole situation. And I will be looking throughout the various rooms that I could have gone into as I'm just waiting for it to respond, but I have pretty much given up finding it at this point, so.
Yeah, no voice comes out, nothing talks to you. As you're looking around, you don't see anything. How about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Signet, as the captain has been searching and talking, checks under his bed where has a storage area for his rifle, Is it still present?
Yes, it's still there.
Okay. He'll retrieve it and make sure it's in good working order before joining the search. He'll also be monitoring the status of any doors or portholes to ensure they don't open.
Yes. Rice, I'll leave you to deal with interacting with pawn and scanning surveillance and stuff, and all various technical stuff, because I'm not as good at it as you, and I don't want to have to be focusing on that and other things. But I think it's pretty much in your court at this point, because none of us can see it.
I'll keep my mind on it.
Captain, I'm sorry. I do not believe that I can help you in this. I don't seem to be able to detect him, or her, or it.
Can we? So we're pretty much at his mercy, which is not good.
At this point, you'll see Grunt coming up from the floor. He comes up through one of the little tunnels that lead up through the airlock.
That's that.
He'll come marching out into the hallway, and he'll sort of walk past anyone or walk through anyone that's in his way until he's standing right in front of the door to the crew barracks.
Okay, good. I'm thinking now. Since we can't find it and we can't really stop it from going places, apparently, could we maybe lock ourselves in like one specific room with weapons and whatnot, completely void oxygen from everywhere else, lock the room we're in down as heavy as possible, and just sort of wait it out? Because I'm at this point, I don't care about killing the thing, because I'm not willing to risk that it might be dangerous since we can't see it. Like, if we could see it and cover it, I would be willing to talk to it or whatever to rather than just shoot first. But at this point, if we try that and it is hostile, it will just murder us. So I don't care. I just want to get this unknown thing out of the equation as soon as possible.
Captain.
Yes.
I believe, what is the term that you would like me to call you? This is the thing that you are trying to find.
Oh, it just in my head, telepathically?
No, it sounds like the voice is coming from a head in the lounge. I would rather not be suffocated.
Yes, well, fine, but don't go wandering around my ship invisible and cutting through doors without making us aware of what you are. If you're not hostile to us, you have no reason to slink about and be suspicious.
Well, I was sent here to spy on you, but I'd rather not die.
Okay, well, okay. So, at least you have some self-preservation instinct. That I can deal with. I assume you were sent from one of the races that came through the rift that we went through, or are going through.
You assume much, know little.
Yes, I know that. But, of course you would say that. But I have to see, because I know little, I have to assume much. That's kind of how it works. If I don't assume and I don't know, I can't really do anything, because I have nothing to base decisions on.
Do you speak for the crew?
Yes.
You see, I find myself in a rather fragile position here. If I reveal my location, you can do all manner of nasty things to me.
Right, but if we don't have... Well, okay, I guess we do have a reason to, because you were sent to spy on us, but it would be more interesting and more profitable not to kill you, as long as you're not immediately dangerous.
Well, my government is at war with both of yours.
Without having declared it, so I don't count it as such. They may think they're at war, but they have they've not declared as such. They have no cause that I'm aware of for being such, so I don't really care what they think.
He could be an Earther.
Well, if it was an Earther, if the Earthers had technology like this, we would know what it, we would know about it, and...
As I said, you assume too much.
Right, and that sounds more like an arrogant alien than an arrogant Earther to me, but...
You amuse me.
Again! More like an alien than an Earther. Something that superior is not just some sort of racist human. That's another species that thinks we're primitive animals.
Let me play another card. There's a stealth vessel just behind you in your grav wake.
Okay. It hasn't chosen to kill us yet, so if you are at war with us, why haven't, and you have this ship that could destroy us, why haven't you? Why are you spying on us instead of destroying us?
Information is valuable.
Right. And I guess you have no information on us because, as I said, you have no reason to declare war on us unless some kind of racial purity genocide thing. And
the one with the cybernetics in his head was correct.
Okay. I turned to Bryce like, you clearly said something that I...
Not that one.
Oh.
I think he means me, sir.
Oh, you Mavericks all seem to have something in your heads. It's confusing.
I am not a Maverick, Captain.
Well, you're not a Gungeon or something, so I don't know what you are, but...
I am a prisoner, sir.
Yes. Okay, well, what were you saying that he said was right?
I believe that he could be an Earther, Captain.
Ding,
Yes.
ding! Give that man a 300 credit prize.
Okay, then, A, how the hell did the Earthers get this technology without either of our governments knowing about it? And, okay, so, this I can deal with. You're not some kind of genocidal alien maniac. That's good. Also, I know how to kill you now. Not that that does much good when you have a stealth vessel thing, but...
Yes, I would rather not suffocate. That is why I revealed myself. It seemed that you were very dedicated towards eradicating me, which I can't blame you. I am a rather unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yes. And unknown, which was the main thing. If you reveal yourself, we can control you. If you don't reveal yourself, we basically are back at square one of having to suffocate you, because, I mean, you've revealed in terms of talking, but if we can't see you, that doesn't work very well anyway.
If you suffocate me, I will send a message to the stealth vessel to engage.
Right, and if we don't, then that thing is still there. Like, I don't wish to die. I'm not stupid, but I also don't like being blackmailed by Earthers, so I am perfectly willing to press the button if that is necessary. Yes, I will be rational until you give me reason to kill you, but if I'm constantly going to have to worry about, like, I turn around, you do God knows what because you're invisible, and then it's the same reason I wanted to suffocate you in the first place. An unknown is scarier than a known, even a known death.
Oh, I am quite scary, even if you would know me.
Right, of course, you probably are, but if you're human, I know how to deal with humans if you're visible. If you're invisible, I don't know how to deal with you. Except by being your hostage, and I don't want to have this entire ship be anyone's hostage. I'm not stupid enough to go blowing it up with everyone on board. without consent, but I don't like. Anyway, so
I do not like to blow my cover, but I felt it necessary. So that is why I'm talking to you now.
Yes.
I don't know how this is going to progress, but it should be interesting.
So, what do you want now? Like, okay, your government is at war with us, sure. You were sent to spy on us, sure. But both our governments are at war, pointing at, or gesturing at all the mavericks around me. And we have managed to get to work together. So, I see no problem with having an Earther on board as long as you will take the sword of Damocles from above our heads and deal with us on equal footing. If you wish to be part of the crew. If you don't wish to be part of the crew, I don't... Okay, we can discuss what else you want, but you can't go back to being a spy. Because either you will die... Either way, you will die. Either we suffocate you or you blow us all up, including... hence your whole invisibility thing being kind of pointless.
I like to have a variety of opinions. You, Chiphead, what do you think?
In regards to what?
This stalemate that we find ourselves in.
There is no stalemate.
You
will either join our crew and help us out with our objective, or you will leave.
Or we will all die.
I don't know about that, unless you are speaking for Pon.
Oh. No, I meant the stealth thing. Unless you know for a fact that that isn't there, in which case, great. But if he's right about the stealth vessel that could blow us up, and
I'm a scientist, Captain. I only deal with facts. I have not seen a stealth ship. Therefore, it doesn't exist.
Yes, well, if we act as if it doesn't exist and then it blows us up, well, that's a problem.
Then it won't matter.
Right.
My cover has been blown.
Perhaps you would like some tea, Arthur, but we can discuss things like civilized people.
Right. Civilized people can see each other.
Well, the stealth vessel is still behind us, even though you don't believe it's there, which, that's fine. This is very uncivilized of me. You'll see that he starts to appear. This wavering bending of light stops, and there is someone dressed in very form-fitting black synth leather, sort of an outfit, as it were. He is holding a Ganjin blade in his right hand, and he appears to be Ganjin. He doesn't seem to have any cybernetics whatsoever. And he bows.
I don't bow, because I now view him as a traitor working for Earthers. But, you're clearly not Ganjin because you said your government is at war with Ganjin. So, why are you, who seems to be Ganjin, working for Earthers?
A man has his own motivations and goals.
Right.
Things require choices and loyalties. I'll let you put the rest together.
Okay, so you didn't like having to work for a computer, so you decided to go work for Earthers.
Again, you assume too much, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I find myself in a very untenable position here.
Yes. Unless you're suicidal, which you clearly are not. So.
Well, I did kind of expect to die on this mission, so there's that.
Yes, but you clearly don't want to, because you've taken many, many risks to avoid it at this point. So, if you're going to be part of the crew, which, as Chip said, is the only option you have that doesn't involve dying, you're going to have to act like every other member of the crew. No more disappearing, no more personal agenda bullshit. Just, you are part of the crew, you act like the other members of the crew. I mean, they all have their own agendas, yes, but and
I must say,
issues,
I'm quite surprised. I figured that the things I was doing to the ship would make you turn against one another.
yes, well, we're not idiots. B, because we're not idiots, we have a thing called cameras, which record stuff, and would show that none of us were responsible for any of this stuff. So, yeah, you assume too much for once.
I think at this time, during this whole operation, as you know, Theo's just in this mental state of focus. He'll get off the bed slowly, and he'll make his way over to the computer console and begin talking to Pon. Pon.
So you're typing this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll see a little word says acknowledged.
I'll then start typing in. All right. We're going to need to shift the gravimetric well behind the ship. If we do it using inverse polarity, we'll be able to send a shockwave behind the ship. If there is anything back there, it'll be shut down and revealed.
Affirmative. Should I engage this now?
Yes.
The ship will sort of lurch forward and just buckle down. The artificial gravity, fluctuates, and you find yourself floating and then hurled to the ground. You hear this sort of noise towards the back of the end of the ship, and then the words kind of scroll across the screen. Detected. Enemy vessel.
I look over to you, Captain, and I say, well, I think that's checkmate.
Good. Can we...
Captain, this is sick bay calling. Are there any casualties?
No. We just have an annoying stowaway that tried to blow us up, or threatened to.
A large explosion will erupt off the port side of the ship.
Okay, either it's shooting at us or we just blew it up.
Captain, we had fired upon, but...
Okay, fire back then.
You need to manually operate those weapon systems.
Okay, you guys, you have guns, deal with this asshole. I'm going to shoot that thing. Unless one of you is better at it.
Has talking stopped? Is that what's happening?
Well, you just started shooting at us. So
I didn't do anything of the kind.
What?
My
I would
friend...
enjoy conversation. The tea is almost done.
At this time, I'll get to the computer and I'll say, Pon, is the ship still within our gravity wake?
It appears to have backed up now. Stealth technology must still be in place.
All right. Assuming that the ship is still behind us, we're going to need to back right back into it, and this time we're going to engage a much stronger pulse. If all goes well, that ship might find itself in a gravity lock with ours.
Will this pose some probable damage to the ship? I am unaware of this maneuver.
Well, it shouldn't be. You see, both ships will be interlocked within a gravity well of each other. If one ship tries to move, the other ship will be tightened on by the other one. Essentially, it's kind of like having a Chinese finger trap on you. The tighter each one pulls, the harder it is for the other to escape. If he dares fire upon us, the resulting backlash will destroy him as well. This will keep us in a safe position.
Please enter the appropriate commands and sequences for such an action, and I will take that into effect.
Theo will stretch his arms and fingers out a little bit and goes, all right, and begins typing away. All these sequences and codes, Pon.
What do you think happens? I'll let you describe it.
All right. First, the entire ship begins to rumble. It'll lurch forward. And then all of a sudden, you'll end up feeling a massive shaking sensation all around the ship. Everything begins to shake, and almost as if it's going to fall apart. Then it stops. But then you also notice that the ship isn't going anywhere now. The stars have stopped moving, and it feels like there's a gravitational pull from directly back. It's faint, but you can feel it. It's now visible. It's an actual thing you can feel tugging to the back of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
The sensation would be almost described as someone grabbing your hands and then twirling you around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very slow twirl.
Captain, we are being hailed.
Okay, I look through the hail.
This is the Earther vessel, Death from Above. You seem to have us locked in some sort of gravitational force. Our weapon systems are locked on you, and we could fire them.
Yes, I know you can, but if you do, you will blow up. I don't think you want to blow yourselves up, so we're at a stalemate.
Would that happen? Lieutenant! Oh, interesting.
We have your spy. We would happily give him back if, because frankly, I don't want to deal with him. But, and I don't think if we have your entire ship, we don't need one hostage. And I looked at everyone else like, do you have an objection to us giving this dude back?
Huh. Well, if we do give him back, we'll have to deal with the consequences of it, I suppose.
I don't see there being terrible consequences. I mean, yes, he's seen our ship a bit, but unless there's some major flaw that I'm unaware of that he could tell them to exploit, we still have their ship trapped, and they still can't attack us.
I wouldn't mind some of that tea. I've been quite thirsty. The implants they gave me to give me liquid I have run dry.
Well, I will go over and grab. I think we actually had sake out, so I will grab that for him.
He'll just reach out, grab the glass, and take a shot of it. His eyes never leave yours. It's a nice sensation to finally drink something again.
Yeah.
LV-426 comes out, and the tea is done now, Captain. And he places like a little container down with all the little pea pots and pours them out individually.
Well, see, my mission here was really quite simple. It was to slow you down and to gather any sort of information that I could, but I did not expect to be found out so quickly. I didn't think that you'd be able to bypass the Shroud technology. How did you find out that I was here?
Oxygen being... we knew something was going on, because we knew that none of us was in the area where you were messing with the machinery. So that's why we didn't turn on each other, because we're not stupid. B, there was oxygen being used in an area of the ship that no one was in. So there had to be something there.
Pity.
While the captain is telling this, I'll probably walk into the room as well and kind of look at the captain like, seriously, are we just explaining how we bypass their technology?
Yes, I know, that's stupid, but I don't really care. I'm just worn down from dealing with this asshole.
Who is this guy?
I am Jylan Rathe. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, cool. What the hell are you doing on board?
Trying to fuck us up. He was the one sabotaging us. He's been spying on us for the Earthers. He's generally trying to make our lives suck.
Yeah, smart.
What's up?
That's a very layman-like way to describe what I did here. Yes, that's about it.
I'll walk towards him and kind of pluck at the suit that he's wearing and like,
He's holding a Ganjin katana in his hand, and he sort of taps his other shoulder with it, like, please don't touch me.
What kind of suit is that?
Oh, it's this one that makes. Well, I guess I should keep some of my secrets. And he takes a sip of tea.
Yeah, put down the sword.
I'd rather not.
Seriously? Look around you.
He scratches his head with like the tip of the sword, and you'll see it bleeding.
Yes, we get it. It's sharp.
I'll have Kazuko. Hey guys, by the way, I'll have Kazuko come running in and looking wild-eyed and say, "Hey, do you guys feel that?" Referring to the gravity tug of the ship.
It's nothing to worry about. The sensation is you'll get used to it.
Well, what happened? How come we're stopped? We're not moving towards the rift or the we're not moving anymore.
Right, because we have to stay to keep this Earther ship from being able to shoot us.
Okay, his jaw drops.
Yes, I have some friends back there that apparently you have trapped in some way, at least temporarily.
Yes. Well, anyway, my read of the situation is we don't really have manpower or facilities to keep you locked up or secure in any way. So.
And just so you know, my friends can hear all this.
Oh, yes, I know. I am aware of that, but then I turn off the hailing thing.
Oh, they still can hear all this.
Anyway.
That was another one of the things that I was doing here, was transmitting some, transmissions to them.
Yeah. So we don't have ways to really control it, or at least I don't want to be bothered controlling you, even if we could figure out a way. So for keeping you secure. So I want to get rid of you, and it would be easier in a way, as annoying as it would be to give you back than to kill you and all die. So I suppose we could at this point just kill you since they can't shoot us, but still,
you would be welcome to try. I have been sitting around doing nothing for a long time. A good bit of exercise might be good before I die.
Well, wait a minute. Let's not be hasty here. And I'll kind of ease up, kind of in between the captain and the Earther spy, Mr. Rathe.
Yes, Jylan Rathe at this point.
Oh, Jylan. Okay, all right. And I'll say, well, why exactly are you Earthers trying to sabotage our mission? Or did you guys
don't want both of our enemies finding out more about this strange phenomenon before we can?
Well, and obviously you guys didn't consider doing a joint mission like we have here? Would that have been too much to ask?
You think this is actually going to last? You trust these mavericks over here. They don't.
I look around and I go, decisions. Well, we're a little rough around the edges, but we're doing okay.
Something that you thought was going to destroy us.
At
you thought
this point,
together already, and we didn't.
What's that, Phil?
At this point, Theo's going to back out of the room and then try to find a more secluded area so he can work with Pon and a little bit of secret.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, LV426 is a pussycat.
Wow.
Can I have some tea?
I would quite like some more tea, since we're going to be talking for a little bit longer before we kill each other.
I say that doesn't have to be the ultimate end-all, be-all here. We can actually negotiate and talk this out.
I am talking, so I'm not trying to split your heads wide open with this blade.
Wow. Okay. Well, it may be a far stretch, but as the captain kind of suggested, it's possible we could be considered to have the upper hand here. So what if we just brought you along with us? I kind of look around at the other group.
I suggested that a while ago. The only problem with that is in order to move, we have to release their ship. And that's kind of our base in the hole. So we have to find a way of dealing with that problem.
Oh, so the Earthers are going to fire upon us with extreme prejudice no matter what?
That's not necessarily the case. I could tell them certain things. I'm not against coming to some sort of agreement.
Does he have any kind of obviously he doesn't have any kind of insignia or anything on his uniform.
The only thing he's wearing is this black synth leather outfit. He's holding a Gonjan blade in his right hand, and that's pretty much it. You don't see any implants, though he has sort of implied that he has had things done to him.
Okay. Captain, how do we know that this guy and his quote-unquote Earther ship, how do we know they're not pirates or something?
We don't, except that I don't think pirates would have that kind of technology. I wasn't even aware Earthers did, but I can't believe that. I can't really believe pirates.
Okay.
This is quite expensive attire that I have on.
Yes.
So you'd be willing to just let me go, is what you're saying?
Well, if we could be assured of what the ship would do once we gave you back and let it loose, which we can't, so no. But my problem with keeping you as a crew member is that you could go invisible at any time and do God knows what to the ship or to us.
Yeah.
So that was kind of why I wanted to get rid of you.
My main mission here is to find out what you're going to find out about the Rift.
Right. I understand that, but I don't want a crew member that I can't keep tabs on. I can deal with people I don't wholly trust, but I can't deal with people I can't watch.
Seriously, this guy could find out whatever we know, and he could then kill us all, and I don't know, head back
Doctor,
to Earth.
Can you install some kind of tracking device on him? Just as a show of faith or trust, you know?
That's an interesting suggestion.
Or take off or deactivate whatever the cloaking thing is. Like if it's in your suit, take the suit off. If it's in you, take it out.
My leaders did not want me to be revealed, but I have been. They would rather some information than none, I would gather. He starts to take off his clothes in front of you.
Oh.
I don't care. Really at all.
Come on, Doc, you're used to that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing that if I do not have the shroud technology engaged on my person, that you would be more comfortable.
Yeah, but I still would want some implants.
Some location device, as it were, that you would put on me.
All of us, right, Doc?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, exactly.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, I would stay on the ship, and you would allow me to give transmissions about what we've learned. And you would be okay with that?
I'll look at the captain.
Yeah, Captain.
I would rather you send transmissions, like send discrete transmissions, rather than just they hear everything that you hear. And because I don't want to be having to be that wary of you, but so if that would be acceptable to you, we could let you send manually transmissions, but not be constantly transmitting.
You see that as he's undressing, there's various scar tissue all over his body, mostly in his abdominal region. Looks like he's had some internal implants. He kicks over the synth leather suit out about 10 yards in front of him.
Good.
LV-46 picks it up.
It's very supple, and you're surprised with how much it moves and bends underneath your hand. It seems like it should be a lot more denser or hard to move, but it's just made out of some strange material.
Nice.
Have you guys seen anything like this before? Or like that before? Material?
Oh, I heard stories about it.
I think one of you might be able to put it on. I have a very, very average size. I'm quite svelte and cut in places, but I think it might fit some of you.
Why don't you come with me to the med bay and I'll install some things. Did you also take the syringe with the stimulants?
Yes, that was me. I had to stay awake.
Oh, did you use it?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be working on him for a moment.
All right, I will come with you because I want to be aware of like all the implants he has and what you're putting in him and stuff.
Absolutely.
Do you want to take this from me? I do not like this arrangement, but it is better than dying, and my government will get some information, so it is acceptable.
Oh, okay.
He sort of taps the gaunted blade on his hand.
Ooh.
So was he offering to let me take that? Because I would totally do that because I view him as a person that does not deserve it, but I'm not going to try and take it because I don't want him to kill me.
He seems to be sort of, he has like a smirk on the corner of his mouth, and he's just tapping his sword.
I'll hold my hand out. I'll say you won't be needing this where you're going, and I'll put it in the crew quarters where you can get it if you want it.
He sort of makes this quick motion, but instead of the sharp part hitting your hand, it's the dull part.
Point made, though. Okay.
But he seems to be agile and very athletic.
Okay. All right, I give him
a show of prowess.
A respectful bow. Okay, I say thank you. And I kind of look at the captain and kind of hold it up to him and give him a wink. And then I walk quickly to the crew quarters and put it in a locker somewhere.
All right, come with me.
I was quite surprised to see how nice this ship is. I thought that, a few Mavericks had put this together. It looked like a pile of shit, but I'm impressed.
You are aware that I'm a Maverick, right?
I can pretty much gather that by the strange things you've done to yourself. But I really can't say that I haven't done strange things for myself in the name of my government.
There you go. I just thought it'd be a wise suggestion to insult somebody that is about to operate on you, but, to each his own.
Yes, well, I don't always take the wisest course of action. My government probably is going to frown on what I've done and said here, but I thought that it would work to my advantage.
Yeah, you're not dead. That's advantageous to you.
This is true.
Follow me.
Hey, Tim, is there anything unusual or odd looking about this Gungan or Gungan weapon?
What do you think?
Well, okay, here, all right, you ready? Okay. He looks at the blade and he sees that it's actually a monofilament blade. So it's very high tech. And looking at the sword, along with the outfit that he was wearing, the first thing that pops into my head is that these Earthers have access to some really atypical technology that seems to be miles beyond, typically what the Earther government has publicly stated that they've got. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So either he's like some super top secret government a connected guy. Well, you said he was a spy, but I just find it very odd that he's being so cordial and so cooperative. I don't know. Something's very, very odd about this. There may even be another one here, possibly.
You see that on the hilt of the blade, it says the Sombra Corporation.
Okay. How do you spell that, please?
SOMBRA.
Okay. Does that ring a bell at all?
Not really.
Okay. All right. Sombra Corp. Okay. All right. I'll make note of that. And then just so I can be privy to anything else the guy says, I guess I'll head back towards the med bay when I put the sword up. And that's it.
So what kind of implant do you plan on putting in me?
Tracking.
Any location? I should warn you, I've had a lot of work done.
Oh, I'm going to scan you before I place the implants. I don't want it to malfunction next to any others.
Oh, we'll make sure you get a nice look in there. There's all kinds of nice little things that they've done to me.
Anything you want me to take out, or just leave everything as it is?
Oh, no, I like to just be just the way I am. You know, that's what Mom always said. She loved me just for the way I am.
Oh, that's cute. Lie down.
Right here.
Yeah, here on the table.
So he lies down and, he puts his hands underneath his head and has like a smile, and he seems very relaxed.
I'll start to scan him.
Inside, you'll start to see that he has lots of different organs. He doesn't seem to have many human organs left.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not quite sure what 75% of them do.
Seriously?
Yeah. He just has this smile, and he just winks at you when you look at him.
All right. You're right. It is going to be hard to find a proper spot for that. How much are you using that brain of yours?
Oh, I think that I use most of my brain. But I'm sure there's some place up there that you can find.
Well, I'll kind of take some time.
Just to avoid the bits with the neural scarring.
All right. I'll kind of like do a very thorough scan and map his entire body and that sort of stuff, and
like, you're pretty sure that he has artificial eyes, artificial hearing, his stomach and intestines. They're not there anymore. They've been replaced with. There's this. You're not even sure that it's human flesh, but that there's some sort of organic compound that makes up this organ that you're guessing replaces the stomach and the intestines. It seems to have perhaps nutrients in it already.
Okay, this is right up my character's alley, right? This is totally what he lives for, pretty much. Seeing how well this is all done, so
you're pretty sure that he has artificial lungs, but they're all organic. Most of the stuff is organic that's inside of them. You think that he could pass through a metal detector just fine?
Okay, so I'll map it all out, and so it'll probably take some time.
Do you like what you see?
Yeah, I've seen better.
Interesting. I spent many an hour underneath the knife.
I bet you have. Where did you get it all?
Oxygen.
Same place or different places?
I can't believe it was oxygen that gave me away. Oh, yeah, I just had a various series of operations for my esteemed corporate friends. Yes.
Yeah. Must have been quite a price tag connected to all of this.
You could say that, but when it comes to governments, they don't mind spending money.
No, I guess not.
Tax the stupid and spend it on worthwhile projects. You know how it works.
So you're a worthwhile project, eh?
Oh, of course.
All right. Do I detect anything that can internally regulate or alter things that I bring into him?
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
Well, I want to, of course, place a tracking thing on him, but I also want to place a detonation thing on him that if he goes out of pace, I could just beep. So.
I don't know. You do have scientific expertise, so and some technological know-how.
Yeah, definitely. It's he's a beautiful combination of my field of expertise. So I've medicine and I've genetics. So I've got computer and engineering. So
yeah, you think that you could spend some time and make something?
Do I have to make it really? Because I'm assuming we have something like that.
Okay, we'll assume you have something like that.
So if need be, I'll implant two things, of course, if that's required. But I'll link them together. That if one of them is tampered with, the other one immediately takes effect.
Okay. Jylan Rathe is officially armed.
All right, excellent. I kind of placed it in there, and, find a nice spot for it, and there you go. This doesn't hurt too much, does it? Oh, I guess you're used to it.
It hurts quite substantially, actually.
Really? Huh. Oh, well, I kind of poke him a little bit extra, like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll be as careful as I can.
His leg starts to jerk up real quickly. Please be careful up there.
Oh, do you mind controlling that?
You are messing around with my brain, after all.
Oh, I don't necessarily place it in his brain. I was just kidding about it because, it's just so much in his body already. No, I probably place it somewhere, but not like something where he can easily cut it out or something. And I'll make it that if it is removed, the thing will immediately detonate.
Okay, maybe at the neck, like close to the spinal column?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Or close to the, what's that big vein or artery?
Yeah, well, head is close to the head is good. If the head is just blown off, it usually does its job. All right, excellent. I guess you're all done. Do I need to roll for it, or is it good?
I'm okay with that. That's fine. You're very competent. So he'll sort of like dab the back of his neck, and he'll stretch like a cat waking up from a nap. Hold on a second. Yes, that's fine. I think everything is as well as can be expected here. He doesn't seem like he's talking to you. He seems like he's just sort of looking up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
Captain, the ship has now tried to get free from our gravitational well.
I look at the Gungeon dude. I assume that means they aren't going to try and blow us up now?
As long as you stick to your arrangement, there should be no problem. You should just disengage whatever trap you have them weaved in.
Okay,
I am here. They want information, and as long as information flows, all is well.
All right. I nod to Bryce to fix the trap thing. Whatever he did.
I believe it's some sort of gravitational mumbo-jumbo. I'm not really sure.
Something with gravity, because we can't move.
I guess Sigmund will alter things accordingly. Just try and revert to what things were after examining the codes.
You were there. You have all the codes and sequences.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna talk. Okay.
All right, Theo will then rush to you, and he'll put a hand on your shoulder. What are you doing?
Just doing as I was ordered. If you have any adjustments that you would like to make personally and would feel more comfortable making personally, go ahead.
Do we really want to do this? They're Earthers. We have them right where we want them.
But we can't move until we let them go. I don't want to let them go either if we can not do that and still move, but we can't.
I've been working on that. I've been typing in some equations and trying to work it out. It might be possible that we could disable their ship permanently. At least long enough for us to get away.
Okay, good. If there's a better option, I'll take the better option. Right now, there isn't, but we can wait till your calculations are done. They aren't going anywhere.
You'll see a smirk wash across his face when you say that, and They'll start marching right back to the place where he was typing at with his computer.
Okay, Bryce returns to doing what he was doing in his head, attempting to crack the communication code, or at least find out what frequency it's on.
Okay, so you're basically just going through all the frequencies and trying to find it?
Yes.
What would you roll for that? Maybe intelligence plus skill list here. Maybe computers? Sort of find it and be able to crack it.
Okay, would either a hacking or sensor specialty be applicable?
I think hacking would work.
Alright. And I guess he will also blow a point of willpower on it.
Okay.
10 again. Yeah. So, 4 successes.
Okay. You've managed to lock down the frequency. You had to look pretty far, though. It was using something strange that is not often used, but you managed to find it, and you're able to crack it, actually.
Wonderful. Alright. I'm not going to do anything but listen.
Yeah, it seems that there's some conversation going on about are they going to let us go yet? Are you sure this is a good plan? What is corporate going to think about this? Oh, yes, it's quite doable. I think this will work out well. I might die, but I planned on dying anyway, so if I can get the information they want, they shouldn't hold it too much against me. It's not like I have any family they can threaten.
I'll make sure Pawn is creating a log that can be passed on to the captain later.
Oxygen. I can't believe it was oxygen that gave us away, but when you get back, make sure to tell the scientists and technologists about that. Maybe they should implant artificial lungs that have their own oxygen supply. I don't know what they're waiting for. I'll get back to you whenever I find out. Be patient. This is the conversation that's going on in his head with the Earther ship behind him. Are you quite done with my implant now? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm done.
Go ahead, Phil.
Okay,
Let me
this
just
point,
check it. I see if I can if it comes up on the screen and.
Yes, it seems like you can track him.
Excellent. All right, I'll be keeping my eye on you. I kind of make one eye bigger than the other, and I can get the hell out of here.
Fair is fair. I've been watching you for a long time.
I sit down behind my computer and start actively and very busily typing, and after a while I'll probably plug in a cable into my eye.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Phil.
all right, I'll approach Bryce, and then I'll approach LV426, and I'll say, I'm going to need assistance with this following procedure.
Happy to oblige. What is it exactly?
We're going to do a reverse polarity switch on the magnetic thrusters that's creating the gravity well. In doing so, this will create a slingshot effect. Essentially, we're being tethered by a central gravity well that we've created outside of the ship between the two ships since they decided to travel in our gravity wake. By cutting off the actual gravity well itself, we'll be able to free each other, kind of like putting scissors between the Chinese finger trap. However, this will fling us both in directions, and it'll get chaotic just for a little bit, but the ship should stabilize itself momentarily. I would also like to use this opportunity to disable them, and we can do so by sending a reverse EMP shockwave in their direction.
Hey, we'll mention, is there something we could do to, because disabling them, sure, that's good, but they can fix that. And after my stupid blunder of getting pissed off at that guy and mentioning the oxygen thing, I really would like them not to be able to report all of that. So if we could, permanently get rid of them, that would be good. I don't know if we can. I have no idea what technical stuff is possible, but if there's a way we could disable their life support or something as part of this EMP thing,
All right. I think there is something we can do, but it's a little risky.
Is it backfire on us, or it might not work at all, or what? What is the risk?
Well, the risk is that we could disable ourselves significantly in the process. However, I think it's doable, so long as we follow the proper procedures. It's just going to take a lot of power from the ship.
Yeah. Well, I trust you to fix anything that we do disable, and as long as we don't disable our life support, we can wait. If we do disable them, and we disable ourselves but not our oxygen, we can wait as long as we need to fix this.
Captain, the other ship is hailing us again.
Yes, I know. I look at Theo and Bryce. Could one of you do some kind of techno-babble thing to kind of like double talk them until we can get this dealt with? Because they're clearly going to be pissed off, and we're going to need an excuse as to why we haven't let them go yet. And you, I think, would be better at that than me, because you can talk heck at them.
Well, I guess I could give them an explanation.
Okay, good. I let him go do that.
I'll turn on the monitor.
What is the meaning of this? We have made an agreement, have we not?
Oh, don't worry. This will take some time to disengage the gravity well that has been engaged. Right now, our ships are both tethered quite thoroughly to one another. The process has to be done at a very precise wavelength.
You are
if
trying
not,
my
we could
patience.
risk this. Hey, look. You can try to break free the fast way, or we can both end up dying out here in the lonely coldness of space. It's up to you.
Be quick about it.
That's the problem. You don't want to be quick about it. Slow and steady gets us both out of this alive. And then I'll just flick the monitor off. Okay. This is going to be extremely tricky, but Bryce, I'm going to need you to enter in these equations, and I'll hand it to you on a pad. LV426, I'm going to need you to do these equations over here.
As you wish to.
And then on my signal, we'll engage the separate components of the engine. And then when that happens, we'll be able to free ourselves from the gravity well. In doing so, we'll be able to reverse the polarity and send a shockwave to them in the other direction. It should be powerful enough to disable their ship and destroy it in the process. But it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Acknowledged. We'll try to be as precise as possible about this.
Okay.
Begin. While they're doing that, I probably would have hung around in the background for talking to doing the hailing thing, in case I needed to step in. But while they're doing the equation stuff, I will quickly call up the doctor, and because I'm thinking the assassin dude is going to be really pissed off when we blow up his ship, and I want to make sure we know what to do about that.
This one thing happens as well. Colt, you're going through all the data from the scans, looking at things. You're pretty sure that he is not Ganjan. You start looking through some of the DNA strands, and
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it seems like he's been modified to appear Ganjan.
All right. Interesting.
Okay. And then you get a hail from me.
Captain, yes. What can I do for you? I'm quite
is
busy.
The Ganjan Earther guy with you? Or can you talk freely?
Well, if you want to talk freely, I suppose we'd better see each other face to face, seeing as we don't know what he did to our communication.
Right, fine, we'll meet in my cabin, I guess.
I'll see you there. I take it this is important because I've got important data to run through.
Good. Yes, it is important, and it needs to be dealt with now.
I believe that Kazuko is walking next to Jylan Rathe. Is that correct? David, are you?
Yep, that's true. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because otherwise he's just walking freely around the ship.
No, I was just looking for. These guys are doing some stuff. I'm putting a lot of details together, so I'm just paying attention here. The only thing I wanted to do was, when I got a chance, I wanted to actually approach the captain and actually ask him if he's heard of the Sombra Corporation before.
All right. Well, that will probably be after we've secured the Rathe, because right now you're basically on guard duty with him.
Yep. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Kazuko,
All right.
was it?
Yes, that's right.
Do you have any spare clothes that I could put on? I don't mind walking around this way.
That's you know what? That's very, very rude of me. I apologize about that. It's just been with all this excitement. My mind's all over the place.
It's understandable.
And until I can, the captain's given me kind of orders to remain here and keep you company, so to speak. But let me look and see if we've got something that you can throw on.
It
so
doesn't have to be anything great. It can be, I'm quite modest.
Okay, I just find any kind of jumpsuit or something, Tim.
Okay.
To kind of give him like a maintenance jumpsuit or something.
He looks like a janitor at this point.
Okay, well, a deadly janitor, yeah. Okay. So I say so. How did you get in this line of business?
Well, I didn't have any family or friends, really, and that's usually looked on as a good thing by, my organization.
Oh, okay. I heard you, I guess I didn't hear it. Do you have any parents on the homeworld?
Oh, family? No. I was orphaned as an early child.
Oh, of course you were. Of course. Of course. I say, not to sound intentionally rude or anything, but do you have any other skills other than, and I kind of make that, motion across my neck.
I'm a man of many skills and talents.
Okay.
The Coordination and Intelligence Syndicate, or CISN, as you might know them,
okay,
has certain qualifications for their applicants, and I'd be tooting my own horn, perhaps, but I passed all the tests with flying colors.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm surprised you weren't getting approached by all types of organizations. There must have been something about this current line of work that attracted you.
I choose my my governments with skill and talent, and I did not like what I was seeing elsewhere, and decided to switch alliances.
Oh, okay, all right. I can respect that. A man has to feel useful and have a purpose, and feel as though that he does have goals in life, and I can understand that. You just don't want to be mindless.
There's a lot that can be done with playing one against the other as well.
Okay. I say, with all the skills that you have, and I mean, with your obvious intellect, what if we actually encounter alien life out there? What's your plan then?
I didn't really have much plans for that. Kind of thought this was going to be a one-way ticket myself, but there's always a chance of life. Just thought that it would be nice to have my name written across the history books.
I kind of step forward a little bit and I go, what have you heard? Have you heard that the chances of surviving this are next to nothing?
All that I was told is that there is a Earther facility that has gone dark since the opening of the rift.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm sure that it's probably just a technological thing. Maybe the radiation or some other malfunction. That's probably what it is. In fact, I'm sure that's what it is.
Perhaps, but we are traveling into the unknown. Who knows what will await us there?
You think we may encounter hostility?
Perhaps.
Okay, I kind of look kind of anxious at that and kind of perturbed. And I kind of scratch my head and I go, well, I was told that the possibilities of us that we were just going to be communicating and possibly starting some type of even a possible friendship or alliance if we find anything out there. I wasn't told about that there may be death and, never the possibility of never coming back.
Death is always a possibility.
Well,
it's a very likely one.
Well, so is life, I mean, there is a cycle of things, Perhaps, if we have a chance, I may need to get you in the meditation chamber and work on you a little bit. I think you need some positivity.
I think I refrain from that. That's
okay. Okay.
I am apparently your prisoner at this point, though. But
I wouldn't say that. You're a guest with limited access.
I'm a prisoner that can whisper on the wind.
Ah, okay. I understand. Okay. All right. Well, I say okay. As soon as the captain and Theo are able to get us underway again, I guess we'll be finding out what happens next.
Will be interesting to see what happens.
Okay.
So,
all right.
What does Phil and the boys do? What does Theo?
All right. I'll then turn on the monitor hailing the Earther ship.
Yes, we're still here.
All right. I'm transmitting some coordinates to you. These are the procedures you'll need to follow if you want to get out of this. The procedure is relatively simple. We're both going to pull our ships in exactly the same time to these coordinates. Our ships will be extremely close together at this point, but this is where the gravity well will become weakest. Once upon reaching this, we'll then use our boost and get out of there with the blast drive out. However, this needs to be executed with precision and at the same exact time. Do you comply?
I am quite precise behind the controls, thank you very much. Coordinates accepted, and we will do this. Any final instructions you have for me?
No, none whatsoever.
Good. It clicks off.
And then afterwards I'll begin the process. All right, boys. We're getting ready. On my command. 5, 4, 3. Oh, and before I finish that thought, he'll then click on a little console and contact the captain. Oh, Captain, you might as well tell everyone that this is gonna be a bumpy ride. Might want to get down. Gotta touch that real quick. You got 3 seconds too.
I click my little all hailing or PA or whatever. Attention crew and other guy. I can't bring myself to call him a Ganjan, but I don't want to call him a prisoner, so I'm like, what can I do? Grab something and prepare to be buffeted around. We're about to break out of the gravity thing.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that was 3 seconds worth.
Yep. Now!
So what happens?
Alright. We hit the buttons at the same time.
Click.
After the equations have all been entered in, and all of a sudden, the ship bolts off, but the coordinates that I had fed the Earther ship was incorrect, and they stayed behind. And while the ship bolts off, you see a massive, almost like ripple, go across their ship as they try to go back as well. But because we went out first, all the tension and gravity that was built there now recoils back upon them, and you see the ship kind of just fold and bend. The ship begins to break apart, and in a very almost unstylistic way, it just busts apart with brief flashes going to and fro. The ship begins to bump and rattle, moving back and forth, everything shaking violently for 2 or 3 seconds, but then the ship remains relatively calm after that.
Kazuko, you'll see that Jylan Rathe grabs his head with both of his hands and crumples to the ground.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. I'll go over to him, and is he still conscious?
His eyes look like they're twitching violently, and his
oh wow,
you see just whites. His eyes have rolled back.
Oh man, okay. I will punch intercom on the panel and hail the doctor. and say,
We were supposed to be discussing stuff before they got out of the. To that.
He seems like he's out of commission at the moment.
"Oh wow, okay, all right, okay, I will." I don't know. I'm not versed in or well versed in medical procedure, but what I will do is I will try to just make him as comfortable as possible and just kind of hold him in position as the ship jolts and moves around and bumps and everything.
Okay. Yeah, he's thrashing around, but
wow. Okay.
Hold him.
Yeah, I hold him down, try to keep him from and actually does he actually look like he's going through seizures?
Yeah, it seems like a seizure or a convulsion.
Okay. I'll have to reach in and I know to grab his tongue, so I'll do that. Hopefully I don't lose a finger. So I'll do that as well.
Okay. He does bite down, but doesn't seem like he's going to take your finger off.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is
before you go through all this of trying to save him, we should probably the fact that I was planning to get rid of him. So.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He's very much my character is very much a humanitarian, so it's kind of what I do.
I'm not saying out of character that you should.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking like in terms of continuity, I would have been talking to the doctor about how to get rid of him before.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, before we get too far into the you saving him, which might be invalidated by.
Okay, so let's go to the doctor and the captain.
Yeah, this is after the ship made the release, right?
Yeah, whenever the ship started blowing up, he went into convulsions.
Yeah, but when I arrived at the captain's quarters after, on my way there, I had to duck and.
I was trying to
myself.
I was trying to get the whole conference with him done before the gravity thing. So.
Well, yeah, that didn't happen. So it's just right after.
All right, I kind of move into the captain's quarters and say, what the hell just happened?
We just broke out of that thing, which is what I needed to talk to you about, and I have put on, by the way, music pretty loud so that to cover any possible bugs. Sorry for the noise. We don't know if he's bugged this place. He is going to be really pissed off that we just blew up his ship. So
we blew up his ship? What the?
So, is there some way I can deal with him to not have some crazy suicidal assassin dude running around my ship?
What? Who? What? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
We just blew up his ship. He's not going to be happy about that, and now he's probably going to want to murder all of us. I don't want to have a murderous ninja assassin of doom running around my ship. So, can we get rid of him? Do you have a failsafe or some way of getting rid of him in case he causes trouble? I would assume you would be shrewd enough to have put one in.
That's patient doctor confidentiality.
Very nice, very nice.
What? Wait, you just blow up his ship and now you start talking about taking care of him? Shouldn't you have tied him up beforehand? What kind of captain are you?
Kind of doesn't want my crew to die.
Holy crap, you just told the guy about the oxygen thing and now you just blow up his ship and just have him walking around with God knows who?
I blew up the ship. I was an idiot and shouldn't have said that. I couldn't have them reporting it back, so I got rid of them. Besides, I don't want them killing us or whatever else.
You blew up an entire ship of humans just because you told something stupid?
Yes, because I was an idiot. I get that. Okay, look, I shouldn't have had murdered all of. I get that, but they could have blown us up at any time. I couldn't have them wandering around behind us.
We had an agreement.
Yes, we had an agreement with people
Is this how the Gungeon honor agreement? What the hell?
I'm not a very good Gungeon, as you might have noticed.
Oh, you're not a very good captain at that. Well, holy crap. Have you ever thought about going to Red Alert? What the hell is going on around here?
Well, None of the Gungeons that are on this mission are good Gungeons. They didn't just like.
Whoa.
So far, you're the only one that's been letting me down, for crying out loud. Where is a prisoner?
I left him with Kazuko. Wandering through.
The only decent guy in this entire ship, and you left him with a murderer? I run off.
Not the murderer. The guy with the ship is the murderer.
I'm already running out of your room.
Yeah. I just yelled at it in your back as you're running.
So you're running around, and it doesn't take too long to find Kazuko cradling the convulsing form of Jylan Rathe.
As when the doctor comes in, you can see that there seems to be almost like a energy, almost like a not halo, but yeah, you could even say that, almost like a halo around his hands as he has them on the Gungeon's, the spy's body, and he has his eyes closed, and he seems to kind of be almost like he's listening for something. That's the kind of posture he has as you come in. And then when you come in, he kind of snaps his eyes open, and then you see the glow dissipates. It's gone.
What did you just do?
Yeah.
Huh?
What did you just do to him?
What are you talking about?
Is this some Gungeon ritual killing thing?
I kind of jump up and I go, no. When the ship lurched forward, all of a sudden he started to choke and go into seizures and stuff. I was just trying to.
Of course he did. He's fully connected to that ship. Holy shit!
I don't know. Take a look at him. I kind of stand away and I say, come here.
I run towards him and kind of grab him and kind of start to examine him and what's going on.
I'm rubbing my hand because I've got teeth marks in the skin.
Oh, fuck. We need to get him to medbay. I cannot lift him up.
Okay, whatever you need, Doc. Tell me what to do.
Come with me.
Okay. All right, so I'll grab the legs. Okay.
Both Kazuko and Colt, you're going to need to make me a willpower roll.
Willpower?
Just roll the number of dots you have in willpower.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, where is that?
I believe that's willpower.
So I'm looking. Okay, I see it. Okay, roll the number of dice that we have.
Yeah,
It's
I got basically just put together from, I think, resolve.
I got it, yeah.
And
I got it.
Oh, yeah. 4. Okay.
Okay, and 10s explode?
Yep.
Okay, and then 8s are successes, right?
8, 9, and 10, yeah.
8, 9, okay, so that's...
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
Hold on. 3.
Okay. There's this sort of wave of, I don't know, emotions or something that's just sort of pulsing off of him as he's going through these things where you felt little, like, bits of fear here and there.
Okay. That's
but
probably
it seems to just go away.
Okay. All right.
While I'm carrying him over there, is he dying?
He doesn't seem to be dying. It seems like he's stuck in some sort of maybe feedback loop or some sort of mental. Something's going on with the implants. You think that are in his head? The thing he's communicating with the other ship with.
Because this might actually be really good for my auto-stabilize Gungeon power of thing power to like pick up.
Okay.
But I don't know if it works like that. Yeah, if it calms him down and stuff and just makes him stasis or something.
Sure. We'll say that happens. So what do you feel when it goes off?
Well, I'll probably because I've been feeling really good all the time ever since that meditation stuff. And so I'll probably feel a bit of the energy that's locked inside of me kind of flow over into him, and the calmness and the great feeling that I've been having kind of passes over into him, and it makes him calm and well, not acceptant, but at least makes his body like kind of freeze in time.
Okay. You'll see that his convulsions stop. His eyes roll back down. He seems like he's almost conscious. He's sort of stirring.
Okay.
What happened?
Calm down. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah, just stay still. We're almost there.
Such blinding pain.
All right,
That's for a tough guy like you. That's nothing. Come on, you can take it.
You'll see his eyes open up all the way, and you're carrying him there. He's just looking around.
Okay.
I kind of put him on the medical table and have him go into like a sleep or a comatose state.
Maybe give him like a shot in the neck or something.
Yeah, something like just like immediately have him go out.
Yep, he's
Is he gonna make it, Doc?
All right, we really need to work on our communication inside this ship because the captain just told me how we're gonna kill this guy. I thought you were killing him.
No, of course not. I was just having a conversation with him, and all of a sudden he started going bonkers. but I will say this though, as I was trying to keep him from shaking himself apart, I don't know. I just felt some kind of weird sensation, and I can't explain why or how, but I could almost feel that his body was just almost like going haywire. I mean, his heart rate was just all over the place, and I don't know. It's just really weird.
It's some kind of thing to do with these implants that he has. He's connected to the ship in, well, I would say at least 6 different ways. I wouldn't be surprised if, unless he's slowly taken off of it, he would have trouble going far away from that ship anyways. But we need to get this so-called, I kind of finger quote, captain over here. Because if he wants this guy dead, I'm fine with that. But
why does he want him dead?
Well, you ask him that. That's a very good question. I go over the intercom. Captain, your presence is requested at medbay.
I think Alakov's out for a couple minutes. So
the captain is in the loo.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
he's having a stress poop right now. So how about
possible,
the
entire crew come to medbay at once.
There you go.
I kind of sit down in my chair and kind of take off my belt with the gun and kind of hang it over my chair and like.
Theo walks in. What's going on?
I don't see why we have to kill him.
Kill who?
This guy.
Oh.
Well, apparently we killed already his entire ship full of crewmen. And,
we did what?
Yeah, exactly.
Who decided to do that?
Well, our beloved
captain.
Oh.
So they really were pirates?
We don't know. From what I gather, the captain told this guy about the oxygen thing, that the way we found him, and that was an oopsie, and, the ship had to go.
I say don't necessarily, try not to blame the captain too much. I mean, Gungeon, how do I put it? We've got our ways, What's accepted there may not be entirely accepted in other social circles, so to speak.
So if you make a mistake and I, pick up on it, you blow me up.
Covering one's mistakes are not accepted or looked upon as being, or making mistakes are not looked upon as being a positive thing in that society, to put it lightly. And I'll just leave it at that. So
instead of correcting your own mistakes, you kill everybody that's present to it. That bodes well for us.
I say, well, Doctor, when he gets here, we can talk about it. That's probably the best thing to do. And I turn to Theo, and I say, Theo, have you in your travels, have you ever heard of the Sombra Corporation at all?
Sombra Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've heard of them right off the bat, but I am aware that there are numerous amounts of corporations on Earth. That's all there practically is anymore. I'm not quite surprised.
Okay.
I'm not quite surprised that we would see them out here.
Really?
No, of course not.
Okay. I'm just wondering because his gear has Sombra Corporation logos all over it. And I was just kind of surprised that they would be so prominently displayed, you know?
You'll notice that he'll visibly perk up, and he'll walk over. His gear, you say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That could be quite handy for us to analyze.
Okay. There's a monofilament Gungeon-style sword in the crew quarters that belongs to him that you may be very interested in.
As well as the shroud.
As well as the shroud, yes. Mm-hmm.
The black.
Actually, LB426 has the shroud.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And nobody's seen him since.
Very stealthy now.
But regardless of all of that, I really don't see why he's as much of a threat to us now in his current situation. So, you know.
Well, for all intents and purposes, he is under our mercy.
Exactly. And
he's not a member of our crew, therefore he's a danger. He should be eliminated.
Yes, and I walk up at this point because I would have, while you were talking, I would have located him somehow or just wandered around, whatever. I show up. I agree, but then I don't know if you want to take my advice right now. So, or even if I do. This to go out of character for a minute, this is kind of an issue we need to deal with because the way that Kazuko has proposed Ganjin Society and the way I was picturing Ganjin Society are slightly different. I don't have a problem with either one, but we need to figure out which way.
It can just be my perspective is skewed. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking of walking up as Captain, going, wait a minute, I was a total sociopathic asshole. This is completely dishonorable, and I should commit seppuku for it, but I don't want to because now I realize, despite cultural conditioning, I don't want to die. So.
There you go. Yeah.
But you were proposing basically the slightly more the like World War II Japanese style of like, which I also see a little of in the books,
right?
Interpreted that way of like any non-Ganjin life is expendable kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we could go either way. I'm happy playing it either way, but we need to deal with that.
Well,
go ahead.
And there's also the fact that this is kind of like a top secret mission sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can also say that you're trying to do this for the mission, so to speak.
Which is one of your aspirations, actually.
Well, I mean, personally, I think I think that everyone can have their interpretation, as long as Tim says it's okay. But that's just a general, you can just take that as a generalized viewpoint of Kazuko and how he is obviously kind of. I don't want to say a rebel, but he's not the typical Gungeon,
Wants to become part of the ruling class of Gungeon,
right.
But he definitely, from what I remember, cut some corners. You definitely would have more of a moral relativist perspective on things.
I'm perfectly fine with both of you having different perspectives on Gungeon Society and how you view it.
I'm not sure you want to take my advice at this point. I'm not sure I even do. It was to me a logical decision. I still hold that it was a logical decision, but it was a sociopathic decision, and I didn't think about it. I decided to murder an entire ship full of people, and I was willing to kill this guy, all because I was stupid. So I made the mistake in the first place. then I fixed the mistake in the most brutal, heinous way possible without even considering the moral implications of it.
Right.
And I was willing to go further.
Well, how about we just do this in character? Let's just get back in
Yeah,
character.
because we're gonna discuss it anyway.
That last bit was in character.
Oh, I thought he was.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah. I'm like, he is in character.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I didn't know. I didn't know. All right. Okay.
I went back to in character. So, I mean, the honorable thing by Ganjin standards at this point, from the way I read it, would be to commit seppuku, but I just realized, as I was considering that despite a lifetime of conditioning that this is the right thing to do, I don't want to die. So I need to meditate on this and figure out how do I resolve this issue. Do I nut up and kill myself? Do I, plus I might be useful on this mission. I mean, we don't have very many crew members, so getting rid of one just as an honor killing might not be the most intelligent thing. But then do you want to trust me?
I interject, and I say, Captain, please. I say there's no need to go down that path. Every member of the crew here has a purpose, and I think that we all can agree that due to the duress of this mission and just how much of a bizarre situation it is, we're all going to be put in situations that we could never have imagined that we were going to be in.
Right. But looking back at me when a month ago, before any of this shit happened, I would not have, I've never been in this situation before, but I don't think I would have done this. I think I would have at least thought about it. I might have made the same decision, but I wouldn't have been so blasé about it. Oh, we're just going to murder this entire crew of people. I'm worried that the rift, it gave me weird powers of freezing things. It might have messed with my mind, and if it messed with my mind, you can't trust me, and I can't trust myself. That's why I was...
Well, Theo, do we know that we destroyed the other ship for sure?
Oh, it's destroyed.
Oh, okay.
It's a very cold way that he says it too. You notice that there's no emotion when he says it either. He's
matter of factly, huh?
Well,
I mean, even now, I'm looking at that guy and I don't care. I'm being told by my brain or whatever that he needs to die. I'm getting this very cold, logical message of that is the logical thing to do, without any sort of empathy, completely from a sociopathic perspective.
That was the same excuse I use, Captain, in my defense. But that didn't matter me.
But if I...
someone told me to do it.
Yes, but if I have a bit of remorse for what I did to the ship at this point because I was able to remember how I used to be and contrast the two. But in terms of making new decisions, I'm still looking at them from this new perspective of not having any sort of moral compunction about stuff and just being logical. So unless you're okay with being run by a sociopath captain who's going to make these kind of decisions, you might want to figure out how you're going to deal with this. I'm willing to abide by the decision of the crew on how you want to deal with me, but you needed to be aware of the new situation.
Well, we should deal with it as a crew and as a team, from multiple perspectives, but that's how I see things.
Yeah, I mean, the part of my brain that is this new part is still telling me this is the intelligent, this is the intelligent decision, the mission is critical, we need to make intelligent decisions, the whole emotion morality thing is going to get us killed, but then the rest of me is thinking, well, if nothing else, I'm going to cause friction in the crew if I keep making decisions like this, and we haven't discussed the fact that I'm going to think that this is how I do things. So I'm not going to give you an ultimatum of, I am the captain, accept my sociopathy or die, but I don't have to be the captain if you don't trust me, and hell, I don't even trust me half the time, but I'm willing to be demoted and become just a member of the crew or whatever you want to do. Just, this is what it is. We have to deal with it.
I look at the doctor and I go, Are you getting all of this? What do you think?
Well, from my understanding, we're heading to this new planet, and we're looking to make contact and see what it's all about. We can't have a sociopath running us if we do come across anything
involved in diplomatic stuff. Like, I'm not going to be the face of the crew anymore, because I can't do that. And I fully accept that. Even if you still take orders from me or advice from me in some capacity, I'm not going to be the guy dealing with other people anymore.
Well, I'm in the lucky position that I'm the doctor, so I don't need to take orders from any of you if I decide that the course is different, should be in a different way. So, but you definitely struck out on me in the last day, so I wouldn't feel comfortable taking orders from you.
I think we still need a captain of the ship who has the skills to be the captain. So my vote is that you remain in that standing.
Well, the burden of a captain is making hard decisions.
True.
I'd say that's a pretty hard decision right there.
Right, but it wasn't hard for me. That was my point. It did it.
Captain, will you stop? We're trying to we understand that you aren't the most empathetic person here, and that you don't wish to be placed in those type of positions, and I can respect that, but we do need a captain.
So wait, you guys accept the fact that he just blew up an entire ship?
Well, what are we going to do about it? We're going to maroon him in the middle of space here? I mean, we still have the mission to accomplish.
No, I'm not saying we kill him as well. I mean, I'm not for blood or something. I'm just saying that is he the guy that's gonna be continuing to give everybody orders?
Well,
I mean, you seem like a reasonable guy. I have no problem following your orders.
Well, but I'm no military. I'm no captain. You know, I don't know.
This guy is.
I don't know anything about running a ship in space. That's not my area of expertise. In fact, I feel like I've been the third wheel for a while here. You know, I'm ready to encounter something out there so I can apply my skills. But no, captain, I don't want that job.
In fairness to me, I did make a very sound tactical decision. I just made it without other considerations, i.e. morality, which is a problem, but it does prove his point that I make good military decisions.
But you do have to admit, we were in a military situation.
And I made a good tactical decision. I just crossed a line that other people wouldn't have crossed.
You know,
whereas telling the enemies about how we found them and stuff a good tactical decision.
Right, but that's why I'm not going to be the one talking to people and making and being the diplomat, because I recognize I'm no longer qualified to do that. That's different from being the captain in this capacity.
Pawn starts playing soft classical music in the background.
Violins and
Thank you, Pawn.
How's our patient doing while this is going on?
Oh, as long as the machine doesn't start beeping, he's fine.
Okay.
Have we thought about Theo will perk up a bit and clearing his throat, he'll say, how about we attach him to the clone machine?
What? You mean wouldn't the clone of me just have the same issues that the real me does now? If we clone? Unless you're saying...
No. Not of you, Captain, of the patients, just in case they don't survive.
Oh, I'm not sure we really want... I guess we want his data, but I don't think we really want a clone of him running around. If he dies, he's no longer our problem. Isn't that kind of...
There you go again, Captain.
Well, that's what I was saying. Even if we don't want to kill him, I'm not suggesting we kill him. I'm suggesting that if he does die, we don't want to make another of him. That makes no sense, morally or logically.
Oh, I was just throwing the options out there, sir.
Doesn't he have a right to exist just, like we do?
Well, but the clone thing isn't about our right to exist, it's about our need to continue the mission. I have no illusions that the clone of me will be me, that my consciousness will continue in it. But my personality will continue in it, and before my personality became all insane, that would have been a benefit to the mission. Now I'm not so sure.
Well, since we destroyed his ship, and now he's, stranded here with us, he is kind of our problem now,
He's our problem, but if he somehow goes away, not that we would do that, but whatever, if he does die, shouldn't we just take that as he's not our problem? Like, why would we create a problem for ourselves after the problem has gone away? If it doesn't go away, fine, we have to deal with it if it doesn't go away on its own. But if it does, shouldn't we just accept that? Oh, good, we have less of a problem now. Why would we create another problem for ourselves?
Kazuko kind of shrugs, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I basically shrug like, maybe this is some sort of moral thing that I'm just not getting at this point, but I see a definite moral difference from my detached amoral perspective between killing him outright and just leaving him dead when he's dead. And
I suppose the other option here is the fact that he does hold critical information about Earther.
Okay.
About the corporation that he worked for.
That's why I did mention that we might want his data, if we don't already have it. So, okay, we can hook him up to the thing, just make sure that it doesn't accidentally clone him, because I don't want another one of him running around if I can avoid it. We can hand over the machine with his data to the authorities when we get back, but until then it stays in the machine.
That might be worth keep the body on ice. I mean, we don't need to clone him or anything, and besides, he's got so many implants in his body that the machine will probably won't even be able to clone him because all of his organs and stuff have been replaced.
Wow.
Okay, well, put him on ice then, whatever. You deal with that. I don't care. My perspective would just be kill him, but so as long as we're taking that off the table, it's up to you.
Well, you want to keep him alive then?
It's up to you. The Earther thing is a benefit.
I would say so.
Or whoever you decide is now giving orders that involve morality, or whatever you want to call it.
It's my decision now?
That's up to the rest of the crew. They're the ones that wanted a new captain for this sort of stuff, or a new guy giving orders. So
you can't just let him die.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
There's a cell in the general purpose area directly across from the med bay, if you look to your right.
Oh,
that could be an option.
He has already shown quite efficiency at opening all types of doors and mechanical things.
Exactly. Well, I can keep him sedated. That wouldn't be a problem, but I have to calibrate it constantly because of his, different organs and stuff.
You do see that he was carrying around a small handheld device. The computer had referenced it as a skeleton key.
Oh, I take that.
So are we
keep him alive?
ready? Yeah, I would say so. You can't just let him die. Can you keep him sedated but alive?
Probably, but it'll be a drain on our resources.
Oh, really? Well,
we should keep him alive long enough to at least study his implants.
Yes, I was definitely planning on doing that, alive or dead. So, but what have we decided on
if
this
he was
captain?
affected by
you know
the
what?
rift?
You know what?
Oh, sorry, it sounded like both you guys are talking over each other. Why don't you go first, John?
We should also find out if he was affected by the rift, as the others, as we have. If he is feeling the sounds in his ears and the vibrations of his body.
Good point.
But we can only do that if he's alive.
And coherent.
Okay, so it's decided then. We'll
As
keep
far
him
as I
alive.
know, there are only 2 people here that have actually murdered people. One of them is the captain, and the other is me. He
And
may
the other
actually
one
be
is
a nice
him.
person.
There's actually 3 of you. the spy too.
The spy has murdered someone?
He's insinuated as much to me.
Well, we don't have proof. So without proof, I deny it.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Well, that's even more reason to keep him alive if he's not if we don't think he's a murderer.
Well,
Oh,
I don't think
a guy
he's a
with
murderer.
that kind of implants, I'm sure he's a murderer.
Or at least he's trained. This may be his first mission, but he's certainly been trained to be an assassin. So if this isn't his first mission, chances are good he has killed people.
I would say so. The way he wielded that blade, I would say he's very comfortable with it.
Yes. Anyway. Oh.
Perhaps this would be a good time to have my reform implants removed.
Why? Oh, so you can...
You and I have both done the same things. You do not have a reform implant, but I do.
Yes, but, okay, I get that. But I did it for, like... I don't even know the backstory of your crime, but I did it for the mission, and I did it through giving orders, and if they take away my ability to give orders, I'm not going to keep doing that stuff. Whereas with you, if you were just a run-of-the-mill murderer, who's to say we take this out? You don't just kill somebody because you get pissed off, or...
My crimes are identical to yours. I gave an order in pursuit of my objectives, and people were killed.
I kind of take a step back from all of this because this is.
I kind of cross my arms and kind of look at the captain like, yeah, you got you there, buddy.
Like, you're assuming that I give a damn, but I was actually thinking, in character, I have solidarity with Chip now, and I kind of like him more than I used to, because it's like, you think like me. I have no problem with you. It doesn't make me think I'm an asshole because I'm like him. It makes me think,
There's 2 of us. Yes.
I understand him. Okay, well, assuming I could trust what you say, which I don't know if that thing prevents you from lying or not, and if I can't know that, I can't know that if you tell me it does, that you're telling the truth. But if everyone else is willing to risk you not having this thing in, I am. I'm not really... If I were still full captain, I would be paranoid and not let you, but I'm not, so it's half of their decision anyway.
I don't think anyone should have anything that modifies their natural way of thinking and behaving.
Seriously? I look at Chip and say, no offense, man, but one man without moral compass is more than enough around on this ship.
Yes, we might have I start laughing. We might have a mutiny of sociopaths.
Well, you're assuming I don't have morals. The reform ship actually prevents me from having any judgments at all.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that would be more of a amoral person. I can only follow the commands that I'm given.
Oh.
So I'm being punished for a crime that is okay, but I have to follow your commands.
Can you be commanded to kill?
You may as well just call me Jinzu or Zixin.
Could you be commanded to murder?
If the captain so ordered me to, so I could, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or
I look
one
at the
of
captain.
the Mavericks on the crew ordered me to murder someone, I could.
Okay, I look at the other Mavericks.
Okay.
You notice that, like, the side of my head is lighting up, like, just like...
Yeah. Wait for the word.
We could try to implant one of those similar chips on the captain.
I am
Go for that.
willing to let you do that. I'm very uncomfortable with you doing that, but I said I would submit to whatever your decision was, and I will.
Wait, all of a sudden this is my decision? I'm
Oh, I wasn't
just
talking
rocking
about
the
you.
boat here. I'm just saying it as it is.
I said I would abide by the decision of the rest of the crew,
Well,
that's what I meant.
One thing that
If
protects them is that there's only one reform chip. There isn't another. So.
Oh, damn.
Well, we have a guy who can build stuff. We could probably replicate it if he wanted to.
There is a 3D printing machine on board to replicate parts and machinery.
Yes, it would just be a simple matter of scanning the item and then replicating it.
Yeah, and besides, if you had been hooked up to the cloning thing, and it can clone you, presumably it would clone you with the chip, so it could clone the chip on its own, probably, or could be reconfigured to do so.
The cloning facilities do not allow for mechanical parts. There are two separate 3D printers.
If they gave us you with this chip and allowed you to be cloned, they clearly intended there to be a way to clone the chip so that you would still have it. So our 3D printer thing has to be able to do it.
Oh, I probably won't make an exact copy, but we can make it separate parts and make it whole.
Incorrect. His genetic data is backed up in the cloning machine, not the chip.
Oh, so if he dies, then we get unfiltered LV426.
You would
Kind of move my gun away from him like, okay.
You are now on to Chip's original idea in the beginning. Kill himself. I will go in and fight the guy at the beginning.
So I think everybody should state about what they want to happen here, because we're going around in circles.
I will go first if you like.
Go ahead.
I believe the captain should be in charge of all ship duties. I do not believe he is capable of making decisions as far as interpersonal things. I believe Kazuko would be better at that. I also believe that the reform chip should be removed from my head so that I can be part of the crew 100%. And as far as the prisoner goes, I believe that he should be studied and kept alive.
All right. Next.
Okay, I'll go next. I think that the captain should remain within his captainly duties. And as I stated before, I think that as far as affairs that are of a diplomatic nature or that affect the entire crew in some way or shape, then I think we all should have some type of input with that. Looking at Chip, I would have to say that I agree that the implant should be removed. You know, I think that everyone should have the ability to think for themselves. So, and as far as the prisoner goes, I honestly think that since it's a drain on our resources, that as soon as the data can be harvested from him, that he should actually be awakened and allowed to perhaps add whatever skills he has to this mission. He can't go anywhere else, so we may as well utilize his skills.
All right. Who's next?
Well, with that being said, I suppose we could take a note from the Maverick side of things. I've been on a few vessels before. I've seen this kind of thing happen. Maybe we can have two captains. The captain of operations and then the captain of logistics. Sort of like your face man, and then you got the person who makes the more tactical decisions.
I've seen this before in this series when there was this reference, Battlestar Galactica. Mm-hmm. There were these two guys who was also in command of the ship. That actually worked surprisingly well.
Yes, we can use a similar system here. And then, of course, for any decisions that we feel too uncomfortable to make, we can always vote as a crew. That's always been the Maverick way, so to speak. Now, as far as LV-426's implants go, I'll have to admit I am slightly uncomfortable with the idea of it being removed. However, that's not really my say in it. If he wishes to have them removed, then so be it. We'll just have to deal with the consequences there afterwards. With the prisoner, if you want to take all the data from him, fine. However, we do have the option of sending him in an escape pod out of the ship. He will be alive, he'll be out of our hair, and he'll more than likely be rescued or picked up.
Do I get a vote? Am I part of the crew?
Yes, of course, Pod.
Please.
I think the chip should be removed. I think the Earther should be studied and quantified, and perhaps his parts cloned for further analysis and study, and perhaps implant into you as the crew if they prove more valuable and have higher operations than your natural organs.
I'm not about to start removing my kidneys just because they're not functioning at 100% efficiency.
When some of my parts don't work, I would see no problem replacing them, upgrading them.
And Pawn, what do you think about the captain?
I think the captain made a decision. He weighed the pros and cons and acted quickly and decisively. We are at war with them, both factions. Deaths happen on the battlefields of the worlds. That is all I have to say.
Signet?
As far as I am concerned, if I had had strong objections with the captain's orders, I would not have helped execute them. I think his tactical judgment was sound. I agree that we may have a need for a stronger diplomatic presence on the ship, and perhaps you should be the one to fulfill that, Kazuko. With regards to chip, LV-426, if we are given full information as to his crimes or his trial and imprisonment, if we are able to find those on file somewhere from more than one perspective, hopefully, then perhaps we can make a more informed decision.
Captain,
Do we have any of that on file, Bon?
Captain, should I try to allocate that information and present it to you?
Yes. Well, presented to everyone, I suppose.
Checking. Files located.
Okay.
John, what's in the files?
God damn it.
Right, is this going to be PG-13 or rated R?
So close.
Pond does not filter anything, so. We'll say that one of the files has about 75% of the information. We'll let you play with it a little bit.
All right, so it goes back to originally my true name is Long Vier, and I was a dissident on Gungan, trying to raise up against the machines, trying to force these to improve the humans in general. I would believe in using tech as well as trying to just destroy, basically just a terrorist, trying to go against the Gungan ways. I had forced my way. Excuse me. I had moved away from there. I had having to leave, obviously, because I couldn't create enough of a force on Gungan itself to fight against it. So any of you who are Gungan would actually know about my name would probably come up as some sort of terrorist. I escaped and gone to one of the Maverick bases or whatever they have. They have those small communions on the moons. And I tried to raise a force of Maverick or Earthers or anyone to, to build up my forces so that I could come back and take over, believing that I could totally take over Gungeon. And one of those times I, basically was kind of a pirate creating the money that I needed, and I had taken on a Maverick vessel. And, during it, basically a fight had ensued, and we had destroyed the transport, and the transport had contained 150 people, that were being, just cryo-tube transported between two places. We didn't know that they were in there. We just knew that there was cryo in there. And then a Maverick, Tim, what are the police force?
The regulators?
Yeah, the regulators came, and they, after fighting a while, defeating two of their other ships, they managed to capture my ship, killing my crew, and taking me prisoner. They knew, because my science background isn't because of the tech, that's actually where I came from, my high intelligence and all that. And basically they decided to keep me alive, hide me away. They said that I had been killed, hence my look is slightly different from facial reconstruction, so that anyone who came across me wouldn't know who I was. And they've been using me to create, decipher, make new tech for them, anything like that. And I've been hidden away for the past 15 years.
Can we find any more details on his group's ideology?
The ideology is to strengthening of the human race beyond where it is. He doesn't believe in the factions. He hates that there are Mavericks and there are Earthers and there are Gungan. He believes that we should be joined again into one human solidarity, one human solid race. And he believes that using tech for that, instead of the purity of the body, he believes that whatever creates it, makes us stronger, is better. Basically that the might should lead.
My jaw will be visibly open to some degree, and he will look over at you. Holy shit! You're the Red Scare.
I just like holy fuck, because I am still a very loyal Gungeon despite being a sociopathic asshole now. So you were trying to destroy my government. No, fuck you. I don't say anything. That's in the lair.
Yeah, I consider him to be definitely an extremist, but I kind of understand his viewpoints, but, he is an extremist, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely from the lower class, but I was a genius-level intellect, so I would never could progress any farther in Gungeon society, and that made no sense to me. And that's where, as I became smarter and more intelligent, I got people to fight beside me to kind of rise up against the whole class system. You just can't believe it makes no sense to him.
A smile will creep across my face, and I will say, I changed my mind. Let's get that implant off.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. Well, I would have said that before that where he's gonna get the implant off anyway if he ever dies and gets cloned. So we might as well take it off now and make sure we can, like in a controlled environment, make sure we can deal with him without the chip, so that we don't just get it sprung on us. Like we all come out of the cloning machine, suddenly he has no chip, and we don't know how to deal with it. If there is a problem,
some of you come out.
If there is a problem, we deal with it now, and we know how to deal with it, and then when we're cloned, we'll have that knowledge. And as far as me, I pretty much agree with what everyone said. I should make command decisions, because Ugo should be the diplomat. And as far as the prisoner, I would say take him, study him, keep him alive to study him, sure. Then either kill him, or if you have moral issues with doing that, at least keep him sedated. Definitely do not let him wander around, because we just blew up his ship and imprisoned him. He's already tried to sabotage us once. we don't want him wandering around the ship.
Captain, we could put the reform tech implant onto him if it's removed from me.
Oh, yes. Okay with that.
I don't agree with that.
I think it would be
That's
better
inhumane.
to, in terms of morality, to just kill him, but what do I know? And yes, I see the benefit of having somebody with his skills around as long as we can control him. So, yeah, sure.
Your moral argument seems slightly duplicitous, Chip.
I don't think he was making a moral argument, he was making a logic argument.
Actually, I'm offering information that I can.
Okay. Well, that said, I am for removing your reform chip. If this is still a vote.
I think it is, right?
Yeah, I would be okay with that anyway, even if I got to decide. I would want it to be voted, so.
All right. Well, then I suppose I'd better first get our captive in out of life-threatening situations, and then I can remove that chip of yours.
Thank you, Doctor.
My pleasure. After that, I'd like your autograph.
I would be happy to, Doctor, if I remember. Just remind me.
I'll remind you. All right, then let me work with this guy in private, and I'll call you when I'm ready to get to work on you.
Well, gentlemen, if that's all that will be needed of me, I think I'll be retiring to my quarters. It's been a long day.
Oh yes, and I call up to the doctor. Do you want to scan my brain to see if like rift particles have messed with it? And you might want to do that for the rest of the crew if you find they have.
I'll do that after I remove the chip and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's the least important because I'm not going to go become a rampaging spree killer in the next 5 minutes. But it would be nice to know if my theory is correct, or if I really was this much of an asshole the whole time.
I kind of give you a sedating, like a thing that you can inject yourself with and say, if you feel like becoming a raging asshole, just inject yourself with this.
Is there any kind of display or dial or something he can have on his forehead or something so that we can see he's getting his asshole level is getting high?
All right. When everybody leaves, I'll get to work on our prisoner.
It seems like he has regained consciousness. He's just sort of staring up at the ceiling and looking around.
I'll sedate him again.
His eyes sort of look over at you, and they just slowly close.
Well, I get to work, and I'll now even more thoroughly. I'll probably even cut him open and stuff, keeping him alive, of course. But
okay.
I'll be looking at all the organs and stuff, and making a very detailed map of it all, and seeing what organs, what they actually do, and make a log of it all and that sort of stuff. And I'll probably remove the detonation chip, the detonation object from him.
Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting.
I don't know how many of these things we have, of these detonation things.
Yeah, probably not many. Probably one or two.
No, exactly. So I'll take the one out, seeing as I'm going to keep him sedated or at least locked up, so he won't be a risk anymore.
Okay.
And I'll probably spend several hours working on him, if not more.
Okay. And how about the rest of you? What is LV426 doing?
LV426 will assist the doctor if he needs it. Otherwise, he will be trying to understand the new tech that he has in the outfit. The leather fetish outfit that makes you invisible.
Does he put it on?
God, no.
Okay.
It's leather. It must stink.
It's synth leather, and actually it doesn't have a smell to it at all. It seems like the body systems of Rathe were
diagnostics. Think of it that way.
Oh, okay.
Trying to understand the materials that it's made of and how it functions.
Okay. How about Kazuko?
I'll kind of fiddle around and kind of watch the doctor until things are getting a little bit too graphic, And then what I think I'll do is I'll have him he'll actually go meditate and try to see if he can figure out what some of the strange sensations and physical changes that he's going through, if he can kind of dial in on them and kind of figure out what's going on with himself.
Thea?
Just what happened on more mental stuff, but just literally, I need to understand how my brain works now and how it's happened.
Okay. What's Thea doing?
All right, he's going to head back to his room, which he probably hadn't visited in quite a while, actually, and he'll start unpacking his stuff in there, and he'll begin taking out all of his personal items and rearranging them in his bunk, and setting up his sort of like his what I would describe as a holographic like looking poster. It's basically like a little frame, but then it just like has lights that just cycle through what would basically be the equivalent of wallpaper on a computer, but it's different posters and stuff. And then various other little knickknacks he has sitting around.
Okay. And what's Signet do?
Bryce is very interested in seeing the chip be removed from LV426. Or I suppose Long, is it now?
It's still
so
LV426 times removed.
I suppose. So I think that he's going to stick around the med bay and watch the vivisection that the doctor is performing. All
right, so we'll fast forward some things here, and LV426 is on the operating table.
All right. Am I in privacy here?
It seems like you have quite an audience, actually.
How much of an audience?
Who's all around to see LV426?
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, I will be there probably if he, unless I'm still meditating and just lost track of time. Either way, it's fine with me.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure, I think everybody wants to see this. So,
some time has passed. So.
Yeah.
I'll kind of get ready to get to work and say, is this really necessary?
If it's bothering you, I can leave, but...
Well, it's just this is the first kind of operation like this I'm going to be doing, so I don't really feel comfortable you all looking at my fingers all the time.
Well, I'm willing to leave, but I'd like to stay within hearing distance in case something does go wrong.
I'll go outside the medical bay in the corridor.
Just as you say that, Theo will then look up as if he's remembering something and be like, right. I think I have things I have to do real quick. And he'll just
Excellent.
walk right out and head down to the cargo bay.
All right. I'll sedate Chip and make sure I've got the med room all to myself. I'm kind of like...
Yeah. Okay, well then Signet steps out to the general purpose area across the way, which is open and near the bedroom, but is not in it.
Excellent.
Why don't you go ahead and make me a roll then? We'll just do probably intelligence and your medical skill.
Okay. Let's see. My intelligence. There we go. Plus medicine. Because I'll be placing the explosive device in chip, of course.
Okay.
Seeing as I need a backup on if he is becoming a psychopath. But I'll remove the chip. I'll first, of course, do the implant. Will I have time? Because the explosive device, it'll probably show up on any bioscanners, all right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Is there a way to bypass that?
You want to reroute the bioscanner so that it doesn't show correct images?
Well, at least not the explosive device I'm planting into him.
He's going to make sure I don't scan myself.
Exactly, because if he's anything like me, he'd be like,
Chip
yeah,
window.
yeah, sure. You took out the chip. Beep, beep, beep. What the hell is this?
I don't know if you can do that, actually.
All right.
Unless you program a scan of him into the machine so that it always pops up the same scan, but that might be seen through. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right, I'll do that. Or at least I'll like... how many bioscanners do we have?
I would think just the one in the med bay.
Just the one in the med bay. Okay, so, and I'm the one that controls that, right?
Chip's in there by himself a lot.
Yes, quite a bit.
Is it a portable thing or is it not a portable thing?
I think it's non-portable.
Non-portable. Can it be locked?
It's not designed to be locked, no.
Can I lock it?
You'd probably have to weld some things onto the wall or something to...
No, but I mean, like, can I like, because you probably have to control it through a computer. Can I have, like, access to it restricted?
Do you want to have, like, a password that you only know to use the...
Exactly.
Okay, you have enough tech and skills. Yeah, you could do that.
I got a pretty high computer skill, so I'll... all right, excellent. Then I'll do that. And I'll remove the chip, but first, of course, implant the exploding device. Intelligence and medicine?
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go. 1, 2, 3. 4 successes.
The surgery goes well.
Excellent.
So 4 successes, you managed to put in the explosive device and remove the chip.
Awesome.
So LV-426 is probably unconscious at this point.
Mm-hmm. So after a while, I'll wake him up and be like, all right, success.
Thanks. It's a little stiff in the back of my head.
Yeah, let me help you up.
Thanks.
Here, have a drink.
Oh.
So, let me introduce myself to the real you. I extend my hand. Welcome.
I reach out and grab your hand. Good to meet you, Doctor.
You promised me an autograph, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, an autograph.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you're somewhat of a legend, but you know what? Why don't you rest a little bit, and the crew will probably want to re-meet you and introduce themselves, or at least shake your hand, and you let me know when you're up for that, okay?
Yeah. Thanks, Doc.
All right.
I'll just.
If you're hungry, let me know. I'll get some food for you. But it's best not to eat at least 15 minutes after the surgery.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
No problem. I'll probably send like a textual message to the captain, as in informing that the surgery is successful and that the patient is recovering.
I come back in and mention he's awake. Everyone else is waiting outside with me. And I will actually come up and like bow to you respectfully and not do the thing you would expect, given that like you hate my government and whatnot. And I was kind of a dick to you the first time. Like I'm actually treating
You enter the med bay actually, or?
Oh, I enter wherever he is.
Well then I'll as I see the door open, I say, not now. The patient's recovering.
I thought that meant done. Okay.
No, just keeping you informed that everything's gone well. But
Thanks, Doc. I'm not. I still my memories are not. Everything seems just. But yeah.
No, just relax. You don't have to talk. Just get your mind straight. I can imagine there was a lot of wiring in there. You need to get to know yourself again.
Long nods and just kind of lays back down, kind of curls up in the fetal position.
I'll start to work a bit on the blood samples and the data I've gathered from our prisoner.
Yeah, there's lots of interesting things that you see there. You see that his lungs can actually operate, you're guessing, for approximately 15 minutes without oxygen.
Nice.
His stomach has been designed so that there's artificial food and water that can be implanted in him so that he doesn't have to eat or drink for, you're guessing, a month's time.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it seems like he was basically designed to sit in a little box inside a ship and not be noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll make a detailed analysis of all the add-ons and also just the fact that he's not actually Gungeon. We'll go into the report and that sort of stuff. I'll make a detailed report. Probably once I made the detailed report, but that will most likely take a long time. I'll make a little synopsis about it, just that the crew can read it easily. But this needs to be well logged.
There's probably a few organs that you still don't understand fully.
Then I'll study them.
Okay. Captain, this is Zixon.
Yes?
Approximately 80 hours until we arrive at our destination.
Yes, thank you, Zixon.
So it's probably getting time where everyone's getting tired.
After all this day, yeah. And I need to figure out, I'm really tired because basically, that whole experience of the doctor yelling at me and me having the sort of self-awareness thing would be a serious integrity role if we were bothering with that, because that's going to shake your worldview and whatnot.
That's all right. You can play it however you want to play it. That's fine.
I'm kind of glad not to do that because I don't like the idea of occurring arrangements quite like they do in those type of systems, but definitely I will play it as he is shaken. He is messed up.
Sounds fun.
He's trying to figure things out.
Before everyone goes to bed, we'll just go around the table. Just I guess LV426 is probably asleep already.
Actually, no, he does have something he wants to do. He does at first. He's napping, and then he kind of sits up. He's like, Doc.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you still have the implant?
You mean the chip?
Yeah, the implant chip. Remember,
yeah,
it's a
of course.
giant piece, so
it's in stasis over there.
Oh, would I be able to see it?
Sure. I kind of pick up the protective thing that I put it in. So state of the art. It's haven't seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, it's very intrusive. And with that, I just kind of smash it on the ground and then leap up and start stomping on it. And then you notice that my body starts to glow with like an energy. When I pick up the piece that's on the ground, I kind of just grip it and then snap it in half. Like normally a human wouldn't probably be able to do that. I just kind of grab it and snap it and throw it on the ground, and then I kind of smile at you and collapse.
I kind of stand there with my jaw like, oh, go. That must have been a relief.
Yeah, you notice that this he's just now, I mean, once I've collapsed, fallen unconscious, my body stops glowing.
Yeah. I start to clean up the mess a bit, and like pick up the big pieces that I think like, could this be salvageable, or could I learn anything from it? And the rest I'll just leave lying on the ground.
Okay, I guess we'll just sum up the rest of the day before you go to sleep, and then we'll have a little after-session talk. So we'll just go around. David, what does Kazuka do for the rest of the day before he goes to bed?
Well, since the doc kind of forbade anybody from coming in and observing the procedure, I guess he will actually go back and kind of take another look at the Race Gungeon Blade, and being that Kazuko, let me see here, he is fairly he's not unfamiliar to Gungeon weaponry at all, especially melee weaponry. He'll kind of look at it and actually decide that he will heft it and actually do some exercises with the weapon, just trying it out and everything before he retires. So he'll do that.
Yeah, it probably, I mean, it's very well balanced. It's not like any sword you've dealt with before.
Okay. That's all. He's just kind of fooling around with it, kind of testing it out, and, kind of like, wow, this is pretty cool. And that's it. That's all I want to have him do. His katas, I guess that's what they would call him. He does that.
How about Bryce?
Bryce, again, knowing that visiting hours are not likely to be anytime soon, and starting to feel the drain of the long day on him, heads back to crew quarters and to his bed, which is sort of sheathed in a only very, very slightly translucent metal. And then he stops and thinks for a moment and says, "Pawn?" Well, or thinks, I guess, "Pawn?"
Yes?
I remember you wondering whether you would be able to hear me dream or experience dreaming.
I'm quite curious to see if that actually happens.
I'm afraid it won't. For crew safety, I'll be sleeping in this, and it will block all signals. I hope that's not too terrible a disappointment.
Good night, Bryce.
You didn't answer me. Is it one?
Sleep well.
Han, do you like music? You seem to. Or you use it as a tool. I'm not sure whether you like it. Is that something you can do?
You just get static from Pawn.
Well then, just in case. What Bryce does is he vividly recalls dancing on sort of a makeshift Maverick, in sort of a Maverick hull on an asteroid that has artificial gravity. And you can see, like, faintly in the background, Europa pass by. And when he's recalling this, he's focusing very specifically on just the movement of dancing, and like the way weight shifts and the pattern of legs and arms, and it's a slow dance, which is strange because it's to this really vibrant Tchaikovsky. And he, for a second or two, his recollection flips up to the face of the person he's dancing with, but then he always tries to suppress that and stick just to the basics, the music and the movement. And I guess tries to convey in his mind that sense of physicality. And then he sort of jolts back to thinking about the fact he's about to go to bed and says, "Good night, Pawn." Enters the Faraday cage and retires for the night.
All right, so Rohir, you eventually finish up your studies?
Yeah, I'll probably fall asleep in my chair, and but as I start to doze off, I'll tell Pom to wake me up if Chip wakes up. So, but then I'll probably quickly fall asleep.
Understood, Doctor. Good night. Doctor's drooling on his arm. All right, so what's Theo doing?
He'll be in the cargo hold, and then he'll glance up and say, "Pawn."
Yes, Theo. What do you want?
Okay. What's the status on our two robots, Fred and Thelma, outside?
They seem to be in a form of stasis. There is no repairs that need made.
Have you gotten closer to the encryption signal? Because I think I have made a few breakaways myself, and I start inputting some of my modifications to it.
You mean the hybrid binary language? Yes, I think I understand most of it now.
Can you get them to come down into the cargo hold?
I don't know if that's possible. They don't seem to be able to accept transmissions.
Try this sequence. I give her some equations on it.
They don't seem to be responding, but they might respond better to physical prompts.
Physical prompts, huh? Try using a few flares outside. A flashing stream of lights, if you will.
I will try to... Attempting. You look out the window and you'll see that the flares are flashing like rhythmically. Various pause and stops, and they don't really seem to respond.
Well, I guess as long as they're not going anywhere, I could work on this project tomorrow, then. He'll give out a big yawn, and then he'll just walk right back into his quarters. He'll lean back against his, basically his hammock that he has set up. He'll stare at the pictures that he has, and resting it on his chest, he'll then put his arms back and head back to sleep. Well, head to sleep, really.
And how about the captain? What does the captain do for the rest of the night?
Well, I would be very reserved during dinner if we're having dinner together, and then the rest of the time I would just be in my cabin, take my sword out of, which I do this every time I meditate, especially this time, take my sword out of my safe that I keep it in, and just rest it on my knees and stare at it as I'm meditating, because the katana is supposed to hold the samurai's soul, so and since my soul appears to have changed, I'm very intently, not really, I mean, he's not really that superstitious to think that, like, the sword would be black or something, but he's so screwed up at the moment that that sort of metaphor, it resonates, and just try to meditate on that, and maybe use the fact that it's not black to try and sort of get back in touch with the non-asshole part of himself.
Probably during your meditation, the katana will coat with ice.
Yes, which I kind of expected. And I was thinking now I might trigger the Awakened Blade thing. I don't know exactly what that does mechanically, but it seems to block-wise fit here.
Yeah, I think bonding with the blade here is very appropriate. And
So I'm not sure what that would do, but because it isn't like bonding with an AI. It won't talk to me or anything, but I'm not sure how it would feel or what it would do or anything. But
you think your soul is encased or at one with the blade?
Yes, I actually do feel like it's there, and there we go. I just meditate for the rest of the time and wait for basically orders, because I am very much a passive, like, I want people to give me orders now, not like I don't want to have input. If it's a tactical thing or anything, I will have input, but I'm very glad that I don't have full captain responsibilities, because I don't want to be dealing with the diplomatic stuff. And, like, I don't want to deal with stuff, I just want to figure out my own head.
Okay, well, with that, I think we'll break off. Everyone went to sleep. Just a sort of a last of the session thing, the 3D cloning machine starts printing something. The end. Okay, so we'll go around the table here. We'll start with John, I guess. What did you think about today's session?
I liked it. I had a lot of fun. I got to listen more than I did last time, so. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what really stood out. I mean, I was really glad that Alex blew up the ship, because that gave me a reason to get rid of my reform tech. My original goal was to just clone myself. That was what I was waiting to die so that I could just come back without it. And that gave me a storyline to, at least, I mean, I totally agree with him. I would have blown those guys up anyways where I were with them. But I had to play it like LV426 would, and try to find a way around it.
Do you agree with what the
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the decision the captain made, I think I would have made the same decision, but from like your character's point of view, I would have done the same thing. But like, even though I didn't agree with, like, I had to come up with a different way of coming at it, because even though I agreed with you, and LV426 has to agree with you because you're the captain, I had to find a way to mention it where it seemed like it, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It gave me a lot to think about when we were doing it, but it also gave me an out where I can get rid of the reform tech, which is one of my goals.
Yeah, and it.
Yeah.
It
but yeah, everyone. I really enjoy everyone's characters, really. Yeah. You guys are a lot of fun to play with. So.
I'm glad I'm making a good impression. It seems like the whole captain thing, the whole debacle with that and the ship and everything, we had interaction in the last session, but we hadn't really developed dynamics because we didn't have history, and so now we suddenly have our first drama in a good way. Like, we have reasons to have feelings about each other beyond just first impressions.
Yeah.
And that more interaction, or more basis for interaction and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's just going to grow just more as we play.
Yeah.
How about you, David? What do you think?
Once again, it was a good session. I was relieved, even though I got here a little later, but I was relieved to see that there wasn't any kind of alien life form that was stalking the corridors of the ship, and that it was a Earther. So that was good to know, even though he was, we didn't know what his intent was specifically. That
seems to be the common denominator of everything he did.
I am enjoying the interaction between the characters. I think that, like you guys are saying, that it's only going to grow, as we kind of develop our characters more and more and kind of interact with each other, which is cool. So that's pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm really on the edge of my seat, to see what happens once we get to that rift, and then also the tidbits of information that we're getting and that we're also creating about, the environment, the world, the solar system, whatever, that we're in. I really like that, because it kind of it's real intriguing, just like some of the information we got that there's a station that has gone dark, and it's like, okay, well, what's going on there? We had no idea that there was a corporation that I don't think we had any idea that anyone knew we were really out here, what we were doing, and now it turns out that they do. And it's like, okay, who else knows we're out here, and it's good. I'm definitely on the edge of my seat. I'm very pleased with the whole situation. So, thumbs up.
How about you, Alex?
Yeah, I kind of like John. I sort of enjoyed listening a lot more this session, and just sort of taking this very measured approach with Bryce. I'm again always really keen to see how the the drama will grow among the crew, and I was actually surprised that we learned so much about Chip so early on, but
Yeah.
It's going to get interesting anyway. Well, even more so, I'm sure.
Glad you did though, because his character of having the chip really wasn't a character. So now we actually get another variable in the equation, like another person to actually interact with, rather than just a yes man.
Yeah, I felt like a secondary pawn a lot of the time.
Except Pawn is more like snarky and doom, and like she has more personality than you did.
Yes, sadly.
This is true.
That's great. All right. I'm going to keep trying to run this every week, I guess. So I'll see who logs on. Next week, you guys can tell me if you're not going to be here. But hopefully I'll see you all next week.
All right. Sounds great.
All right, thanks again. Okay, talk to you guys later.
Thanks. Great game, Tim.
Take care.
Thanks. See
Later.
You.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.